You're here because something inside you is screaming. You feel it every morning when the alarm goes off and you hit snooze. You feel it when you scroll past people living the life you keep saying one day about. You feel it when you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. This is not another soft motivational video. This is the one that's gonna piss you off. And if you stay till the end, it might just change everything. Let me tell you about a kid who had every excuse in the book. 297 pounds, studied so bad people laughed in his face, learning disability, sickle cell trait, abused by his father, sprayed with roach spray as a child to fall asleep because they were crawling all over him, failed school, worked as an exterminator, killing roaches at night while eating donuts and shaking like a leaf from fear. That kid was supposed to be a nobody. That kid was supposed to die average. But that kid decided average wasn't an option anymore. One day he looked in the mirror and said, "I'm done being this version of me." He didn't have a coach. He didn't have money. He didn't have talent. He had one thing, a decision that hurt so bad it felt like death. He decided to become the hardest man alive because being soft was killing him slower. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You don't lack motivation. You lack pain. You haven't suffered enough to force the change. You're still comfortable enough to stay weak. Comfort is the silent killer of every dream you ever had. When that kid lost 100 pounds in 90 days, when he showed up to Navy SEAL training 30 pounds underweight, when he broke both legs in buds and still finished Hell Week, when he went through Hell Week 3 separate times, when he ran 100 miles with broken feet and kidneys shutting down, he wasn't motivated. He was possessed. He found a part of himself that most men will never meet. He calls it the beast. You have one too, but yours is still asleep because you keep feeding it excuses. You know what the scariest moment in life is? It's not when you fail. It's when you realize you still have more to give and you choose to quit anyway. Real failure isn't falling down. Real failure is when you're lying on the ground, gasping for air, and you know deep down you can take one more step, but you decide you're tired. That's the moment you lose your soul. So let me ask you the question that broke him into a different species. Can you take one more step? Right now, when nobody's watching, when it burns, when your mind is screaming, you deserve rest. Can you take one more? Because if the answer is yes, and you don't, that shame will follow you for the rest of your life. He learned something in the darkness that 99.9% of people will never understand. Your mind will always quit 40% before your body does. Always. That voice that says, "This is enough," is lying. It's protecting the old version of you that's scared to die. But greatness is on the other side of that death. The old you has to die for the real you to be born. People ask him all the time, "David, how do you stay so disciplined?" He laughs. Discipline? That's cute. Discipline is for people who still have an exit door. He removed every exit. He burned the boats. He gave himself no way out. That's when the mind says, "All right, I guess we're doing this."
and it adapts, it overcomes, it becomes something unstoppable. You want to know where real confidence comes from? Not affirmations, not vision boards, not a new pre-workout. Confidence is forged in the moments nobody claps for. When you sit at a kitchen table for 8 hours a day, rewriting notes by hand because you can't read. When you run until your feet bleed and keep running. When you fail the same test 3 times and go back the 4th time like it's the first. That's where unbreakable belief is built, stacking undeniable proof that you are not who you used to be. You keep waiting for motivation to strike? Stop. Motivation is a stripper. Looks good, feels good, leaves you broken empty. What you need is a calloused mind, a mind that's been through hell so many times it no longer fears the fire. It walks into it smiling. Look at your life right now. Be honest. Who's really in control? You or your mind? Because if your mind tells you to stay in bed and you obey, guess who the master is? You have to flip that script. You have to become the dictator of your own brain. You tell it where to go. You tell it how hard. You tell it when it's allowed to rest. If not, it's over. Game over. You'll die average. Guaranteed. Here's the part that hurts. The reason you hate hearing this stuff is because deep down, you know you're wasting your life. You know you're capable of more. You know you're playing small. And every time someone like him shows up and does the impossible, it forces you to look at your own excuses. And you hate that mirror. So, you call him crazy. You call him obsessed. You say, that's not normal. Good. Normal is broke. Normal is depressed. Normal is scrolling. Normal is dying at 65 with regrets. He chose abnormal, and abnormal built a legend. You still think there's an easier way? There isn't. He looked for it too. He tried the shortcuts, the pills, the parties, the fake confidence. And he still felt empty because peace isn't out there. It's not in the car, the girl, the money, the likes. It's on the other side of facing everything you're running from. You want to be proud of the man in the mirror? Then stop negotiating with weakness. Stop making deals with the lazy voice. Stop giving yourself outs. When the alarm goes off at 4 a.m., you don't negotiate. You move. When your legs say stop, you take one more step. When life knocks you down, you get up faster than it can blink. This is not about becoming him. This is about becoming the man you were supposed to be before the world told you to play small. Before your dad said you weren't enough. Before your ex said you'd never make it. Before you started believing your own bullshit. One day, you're going to die. And on that day, the only thing that will matter is, did you become the hardest version of yourself, or did you quit when it got uncomfortable? There are no refunds, no extra lives. This is it. So I'm gonna leave you with the same question that saved his life and might just save yours. When everything in you was screaming to quit, when it hurts so bad you can't think, when the easy path is right there, can you take one more step? Your entire future depends on how you answer that question when nobody's watching. Stay hard. Who's gonna carry the boats?
Subscribe to Unlock Deeper Mind for more powerful mind and success insights every week.